Hello, welcome to my fourth iteration of an Obsidian Charm Maker for Tier 4. Um, this is a hyper-compressed version of Obsidian Charm. It allows two Obsidian Charm Makers in a 15 by 15 area, which would essentially mean you could have 8 in a plot or 32 in a base. There will be a couple of mess ups along the way because it's extremely compacted and slightly complicated. Please do not mind. I'm not really going to talk too much in the video, but I hope you like it. This takes a few tries because of how complicated it is. Sorry if there's a lot of confusion. part that was just completed is the tungsten section, and that will be left alone for a little while. And next moves on to building the laser cutter section. The first floor of the assembly line is basically built, other than forgetting some conveyors. A singular conveyor. But this is basically compacting the entire tungsten and laser cutter assembly machine on one floor, which leaves the rest of the space for just the dual assemblers. I'm not exactly sure why it's not producing. Guess the mines are just being weird. They were filtering backwards. Lava gems need to go right, and the ice gems need to go left. Now we begin the very tight part of the assembly line. This is the most complicated section of the assembly line. Once you get this section of it built, the rest of it should be very easy. making convenience use of a splitter conveyor. It keeps the ice gems centered in the middle. This is the easy part of the filter system. The hardest part is filtering the lava gems. These will split in the middle. Here comes the more complicated part. I'll just let you watch. Make sure this filter container has a lava gem in it so it doesn't accidentally pull from the ice gem conveyor that it's connected to. That would cause unforeseeable problems if it did so. I put the box not far enough to the right. Then you do a test to make sure it works. Put in the splitter. Goes, yes, filter container. Put another one in there. Dispense, it goes in, produces the Obsidian Charm. For now, we'll just go into a cell zone so it doesn't cause an unnecessary amount of mess in the background. And move on to the other side. It doesn't follow the same concept. It uses the accursed or not so loved turned conveyors to build this. This is the slightly easier side, as it just requires small usage of ramps and a chute. Now we are connecting it. and it should start producing obsidian charms or gems or whatever. Now I go on to the next and final step, which is producing the gems themselves. I hope nobody's lost yet. It is quite the build, no pun intended. The tungsten follow the same concept as the ice gems, with a being put in by a splitter conveyor. In this instance, it is off-centered, but now I get rid of this chute and replace it with a dropper container, and I guess I forgot something. I forgot to put the small conveyor in front of the tungsten mine. Make sure you don't do that, but it's okay if you do. It's not a hard fix. Just wait for the tungsten to produce to make sure it works. If it doesn't work, just replace the mine, and it should start producing as it went just now. And you just put the advanced assembler back in, and that should be fine. The filter needs to accept tungsten ignits, otherwise it's not going to process properly. As I said in the beginning of the video, I was going to mess up a few times due to the sheer complexity of the builds. Oops, I accidentally deleted it. That wasn't the intention. Definitely not the intention. I have a force of habit of auto-selecting the delete key, which is not best practice. Then you put a dropper container right here. And if you don't want the blocks to randomly fall, or they miss because of lag, you would put two conveyors right there. And it should align now with the tungsten on the bottom. And then just have a very long chute. Connect it down. The tungsten half is built. This next part is actually very easy to build because all it is one item connecting to the assembler below. We're going to have these offshoot. So it's going to cause a mess for a moment, but all you would do is connect it to a basic container on both sides, and then a misaligned chute, almost misaligned chute. Yes, a misaligned chute. 1, 2. It will force the. It's supposed to force the obsidian charms. I'm sorry. These are not containers, they're droppers. I'm realizing this as I built it. A lot of my builds are built through trial and error, so sometimes I'll not always remember exactly how I built it as I'm recording them. And this is where the screw-ups come in, but that's okay, because now it should be producing obsidian charms on the other side. To clean up any messes, you just put the cell pads under the piles of anything, or you can put them back in the boxes if you want. This wasn't the clearest tutorial, but it showed you how to build a ×2 obsidian charm setup in the 15 by 15 area. You would be able to fit 32 of these in a plot if you so desired to. It is a little bit slower because it uses 3 harvesters. If you had legendary harvesters, which cost Robux, then this would most likely produce a little bit faster. If anyone's wondering where to get the legendary crates, they're from here. And these are essentially gacha boxes, but they do give you a legendary mine, which produces 3 times faster than an advanced mine, just to give comparison of the two, advanced and legendary. Ideally, you would want these on this build if you wanted to speed it up, but advanced will work fine. I do not recommend using yellows because the process will be extremely slow. If you're using yellows, it's probably better to use the previous build. Thank you for watching.